All right, Travis Jones podcast. You're with Liam. I'm here with Trav. How are you, TJ?
What's up, buddy? Again, always love being here, guys. Thank you to all the Fit Pros tuning in. We have a fantastic episode coming at you today.
So this is customer experience. So I think, this is a really important thing because gym owners, we're so busy, right? We've got so many different things to concentrate on. And sometimes like people can forget just how important the customer experience is, right? Like, especially with gyms when we're dealing with 100, 200 plus members, right? People can get lost, and that's not really a good experience for a customer to feel lost.
No, man, I think that's one of the biggest reasons I started my gyms, right? Like I was working inside a big box gym and people were a number, not a name, and they weren't having any experience. They weren't getting results. I could see them floundering inside the gyms. And I was like, this industry, man, like there's 600 billion obese people and 600 million obese and 2 billion overweight people. So there's more gyms everywhere, but there's less people getting results. And that's why we started our gyms, because I was like, there has to be a better way. There has to be communities that we need to create. There has to be better results, better connection, just better gyms than there was out there. And that's customer experience, man. Like, probably the passion that drove most people to open their gym gets like, that's why they started. But then all of a sudden it's like marketing, sales, must get more clients. And they forget the real reason why they got into it. It's like change lives. And that's customer experience. Like truly changing a life is keeping members and, transitioning them from the lesser version of themselves to the best possible version of themselves. And that's customer experience.
I sent you that quote last week from that NFL coach who was like, no matter what players on your team, you can always lead the league in effort. That was such a cool quote. And I think that just relates. I sent it to you because I think it relates so much to you because you have this reputation around Trav's classes. Like when he runs a class, like it's the best thing you'll experience. And you don't become a talented, motivator. You don't do like motivational courses to become a better motivator in a class. It's like you got to give a shit and put in your maximum effort. And I think that's why, you can tell us, like, why do you think your classes are known for being the best classes there are? And you as a trainer you were infectious.
I think it's passion and enthusiasm, man. Like for me, the first 8 years of my life was trying to, as a coach, 16 years now, but the first 8 years was trying to become a great coach, understanding the human body, understanding, the mindset behind it, understanding how to get people training better. But I think from always, forever, it's like being a captain in a footy team. And I think that's what it comes back to. It's going back to, if my teammates were feeling down, how would I lift them up? And for me, I believe that customer experience and creating great sessions comes down to enthusiasm, passion, and your state, your energy. And for me, I remember starting my sessions, and for a lot of people listening, it's like they might get up at 4 a.m. and they might get to sleep at 9 p.m. and they're trying to do every single thing from the taxes to the marketing to the sales. And it's very easy to lose that enthusiasm in the sessions, but it's like, man, like that enthusiasm has to be there. So I don't care if you have to have 7 coffees before your session. Like, I really don't care. Like, you have to do it. And if you can't internally like turn up the Richter scale, the lever to get that enthusiasm, like you got to do something, like punch a wall, like jump up and down, have your coffee, like remind yourself your why. Like, why am I doing this? Is because this session, every session, these people have, their house, and they have, like, they go home, they have work, and most people, 50+% of people get divorced, and most people hate their jobs. So, like, their life at the moment probably is, mediocre. So the 45 minutes to 60 minutes they give you, because they're giving you their time, right? They never get that time back. So you owe them the ability to give them the best 45 to 60 minutes you possibly can have. And like, that's what you owe to them. Like, they don't owe you to come. Like, you owe it to them to give them enthusiasm, to give them fun, to show them that, oh my gosh, like, this is my third place. This is the place that I love. And every time I walk in here, it's like, okay, I'm home. And that's the difference, man.
So like that's, customer experience on like the micro level, right? Where like you're the one-on-one trainer or the one group trainer, which is like so many people just ignore that micro fact, which is really important, guys. Don't ignore it. But why is it important to get customer experience level at an elite level on like the macro level? Like what will that do for gym owners and fitness business owners?
Well, it costs 6 to 7 times more to get a new customer than keep your current ones. I think that's the biggest thing, right? So if you're struggling at money right now, then just focus on your current clients because it costs 6 to 7 times more to acquire a new client. So if you just look after your current clients, they'll give you more referrals and you'll actually grow your business. Now, if you want exponential growth, yeah, most definitely you need to add that with marketing and you start to compound and you're growing faster and faster and faster. But I think for all of us, we need to have this mindset that we're lucky enough to be inside our customer's life. And if you can, empower your team, your coaches to, like, you are lucky to be inside these people's lives. And we're in an industry that literally changed lives for a living. Like that, man, that fires me up. And maybe I'm slightly different, but if you can lead them to remind them every single day, it's like, guys, we're lucky today. Like we are a lucky industry. We're not accountants, right? We're not financial planners. That could be exciting to them. But to me, like, all of a sudden, like getting someone to lift that little bit more weight, doing that one extra rep, like losing that next 2 kilos, like, and you see that the enjoyment, the change in their physiology, they're changing their psychology. All of a sudden, their life is starting to become better. And they're like, I had a kid because I couldn't have a kid before. And because I came and trained with you guys, I lost weight and then I had a child and I thank you for now I can have a family. Like, man, like that's the industry we're in. If you can remind everyone every single day, like, no, we are life changers, we are game changers, we are change agents in people's lives, and you can really ripple that effect down through your organization, your company, your business, no matter if it's like 1 gym, 20 gyms, whatever it is, like every day bring it back to that, then man, like you guys are going to be unstoppable. I think the biggest reason why we look at the personal training industry. So when I was a one-on-one PT for like 8 years, and your retention as a personal trainer is so high, like it's ridiculous, right? You keep clients for 4, 5, 6 years because the relationship is so strong. Like they're seeing you, their kids, their anniversary, their birthday, like you buy them presents for their birthdays, like
the types of arguments they're having with their spouse.
Oh man, you know everything, but the relationship is so strong that they don't break the relationship. I think that's what you have to look at. So how can we manufacture that type of relationship in a group training environment? I think that's the biggest thing you have to look at. So how can we manufacture a personal training environment in a group training environment? If you do that, your retention will be through the roof. Your relationships with your clients will be amazing. So how can you do that? Like that's the biggest question. And guys, the better quality question gets the better quality answer. I'm going to ask you some questions on this podcast today, and you're going to like press pause, write things down, because this today, like this can dramatically improve your business. And there's a couple other stats. It's like, if you increase your retention by 5%, it adds 25% to 100% revenue to your yearly revenue. Increase it by 5%, your revenue goes up by 25% minimum, up to 100%, because you can still acquire more clients, and all of a sudden your business starts to exponentially grow. So this is such a crucial podcast. It goes overlooked because marketing and sales is sexy, and keeping your customers, like, well, that's not a sexy topic for some reason. But today we're going to talk about it.
And you always talk about how everyone wants to be a part of something, and everyone wants to be a part of a busy gym. Like no one wants to come to classes where you've got like 2 other people in the class, right? And so it's just like, it's so important to have that retention for when you do get new customers as well. They come in and go, oh, everyone here is like a community that's stuck around for years. Like this is really cool. I want to be a part of this, because it's human nature. Like, when a classic high school, movie, they go to the lunch cafeteria and everyone has their groups, and the main character just wants to fit into one of the groups. Like it's just basic human psychology, and same as fitness. Like if you've got good retention and you've got people that have made friends and had babies with each other for like years and years, like, that's going to be so attractive to every new lead or every new trial or new participant in a challenge that comes through your doors.
I think that's the biggest thing, man. And we're going to talk about this a little bit, like the first 100 days. Like Joey Coleman wrote like a book on it, like How to Never Lose a Customer Again. And he has this 100-day journey map. And I'm going to talk about the journey map today a little bit. But first, the journey starts with them coming into, before they even come into your business, right? So it comes before they opt in for something. And then it comes to the next part of the journey is your sales calls and your follow-up process. The next part is when they start that paid trial, and you have to care for them so much inside this paid trial, because it's not an inferior member if they're paying you less in a paid trial. Like, no, like you have to treat them exactly as if they're your most highest paying client. Because if you treat someone like they are that, then they will stay. I think, it's all about relationships, right? And I think Tony Robbins says, when we're looking at actual relationships, if you treat your relationship on the last day as if it was your first day, your relationship will never end. And I think if you can treat that like your customers, if you can treat their last day as you did their first day, the relationship will never end. Like, you get excited, you motivate them, you give them everything. And I don't care if they paid you $1 for 14 days. Like, you go all in trying to change this person's life, because guys, it's not about the money, it's about the person. And you have a privilege to serve this person, because if you serve them so well, they will pay you everything because they want to be around you. Your aura inspires them. You're enthusiastic. You're passionate. People want to be around passionate people. So I think we're going to talk about this journey map. And, it's talking about, getting every single member. If you don't know their birthday, like, put it in your Google Calendar, or get like a software where it reminds you, like a Zen Planner or MindBody or something like that. Put in their anniversaries with their partners. Get to know them. If you don't have a client form that they fill out, like the movies they like, like, you need to do that. And then if you know the movies they like, and the next Spider-Man's coming up and they're a Marvel fans, like, message them and something's like, hey man, like, the next Marvel movie's coming out. Like, are you going to see this? Or what did you think of this? And it's the little things that matter. It's the little things that matter. People don't care about the big things. It's the little intricacies that you know about them, which builds relationships. And they're like, I'm not leaving that. These people know me. They care about me. And it's not about nutrition and training anymore. Like, this is family, because I love the conversations they have because they get me. And the more that they can think like, this person gets me, or this business gets me, or this coach gets me, the longer they'll stay.
Yeah, I think we talked about it on a podcast previously, which is when you had that very first personal training client after you just graduated, how did you treat that client? You didn't rock up like 2 minutes late and just, on your phone because you slept in, and, all this stupid stuff that I'm sure most people listening to us right now don't do, because they're business owners looking to try and up level. But we all know those types of trainers that do that. They're just like half-ass it and show 50% interest. I just thought that's such a good point with regards to relationships. Like, treat the relationship like it's the first time. Treat it like you'll do anything to keep them.
Like, it's just not being familiar. Oh, it's just Liam. I don't have to care about him as much anymore. It's like, no, it's just Liam. Like, oh my gosh, it's Liam. And I think, like, if you can get excited about your customers every single day, man, like, you should be excited every single time you see them. And if there's a client that kind of drags you down, like, lift them up. And if they keep dragging you down, kick them out. Like, that's okay as well. Like,
that's right.
Customer experience. Like, you are not a good fit for this gym because, we've tried, like, you have to go above and beyond. But there is a line in the sand where it's like, you know what, like, it's time for you to leave here. But like, when we're looking at this first 100 days, which I really love, there's like these 4 things you have to do. You have to investigate to start with, then you personalize, then you surprise, and then you make the required remarkable. So it's like, you have to make the required remarkable. So when we're looking at investigating, it's like creating personal bonds with your clients. Like, that is so crucial at the start. Having an actual interest in them. They're not just another number. They're not just a paycheck. They're not just another $50 or $200 a month, whatever you're charging. Like, no, you actually have an interest in them, their problems, their frustrations, their dreams. Okay. And like, if you can investigate this and create this, like, client document that, I don't care if the first 28 days you take a Polaroid photo of them, you put it up on the board, it has all their goals and their dreams and their frustrations and what holds them back. And you have to look at that every single week, and you do a client check-in with them. It's like, I know this is an obstacle. Did we overcome this week? They're like, man, like, this person remembers. It's like, yeah, because I wrote it down and I've got a daily check-in. And if we personalize it, it's not like a cookie cutter nutrition plan. It's like, I know that you don't like steak, so I'm going to give you something personalized so you feel like I'm looking after you. Or the training, I know that you can't press overhead, so I'm going to give you alternative exercises. Or I know that you're going on a holiday with your kids, so I'm going to give you a couple of workouts like that. Like, you can personalize a t-shirt. I don't care. Like, imagine that, man. Like, they come in, you've got a generic t-shirt. It's like, what's your nickname, Liam? Like, tell me what your nickname is. And you then, over the next 7 days, you screen print their nickname on the back of the t-shirt. It's like, there you go. That person's not going anywhere, because they're like, holy hell, man. Like, but that costs like $7 to screen print something. And that's $7, right? Like we said, it costs 5 to 7 times more to get a new client. So if you screen print their shirt and they're on a paid trial and you put in their nickname, man, they're not going anywhere. They aren't, because they're like, these people are crazy. like thinking like crazy in a way that I've never seen before, because these people go above and beyond, and it's making the required remarkable. So you got to surprise them. Like when someone joins up, man, like you don't go, hey, like see you at the session. It's like, man, like film a video and go, hey man, just recapping on everything we went through today. This is our problems. This is our, like what you're going through. This is our, what we're going to try and achieve over the next 16 weeks. Map out a bit of a journey for them. Like give them a customer journey. Over the first week, you're going to be feeling this, and then we're going to go into this type of training. And then after the first 4 weeks, this is what we should expect. And if you give them this like personalized video, it takes like 3-4 minutes, and like text it to them, email it to them, they're like, wow, haven't got that before. So if we can do that, it's like something that's personalized. You're going to surprise them with that. Give them the shirt, give them a shaker. Like, 2 weeks in, it's like, here's a shaker. When we look at it, it's like, how can you like start calling them by their nickname? Because like people call friends by their nickname, right? They don't go, hey, Liam, like we have nicknames. So if you can start talking to them as if you were a friend, like obviously don't just like, I make up nicknames sometimes, but that's me. But like if you can create a bond, like that's what it's all about. And then it's like making that required remarkable. It's like, get some recipes each week and send them out. Like, man, like if you don't have time to get recipes, like go on Upwork and tell someone to create 2 recipes a week. So like you are giving them a remarkable service, not just here's a meal plan, here's 2 recipes a week to help keep things interesting for you. Like here's something to do while you're away. Here's a DJ is coming in every second Saturday to make the training sessions even more fun. Do food shopping tours. It's like, because most people don't even know how to shop. Okay. Like do an event where you can go, hey, this is how you prep food for like a sheet pan recipe, or this is how you do a slow cooker, because people don't understand how easy food prep is, and then they get overwhelmed and they don't even follow it, and they don't get results, they lose certainty, and then they go try and do the lemon detox, right? Because it's this cascade effect. Like for us, customer experience is all about giving our clients certainty that yes, with us they're going to get the result, and without us they are lost. So it's like, how can you make it fun, make it themed classes? And I think the biggest thing is like, if you don't prioritize your customer, someone else will. Like that's the crucial thing, right? Like if you don't prioritize your customer, someone else will. So are you making this an enjoyable experience for them to achieve their results?
Yeah, like they're always going to be looking for the next thing, right? Like, because that's just human nature with fitness. It's like, oh, I'm doing this challenge here, but if I see some crazy like diet pill thing on Instagram, skinny tea or something, like I might just go and join that, especially if they're not satisfied, right?
I think that's the biggest thing, man. Like the first 56 days, people, even the first 28 days, like someone coming into your business, man, like they don't love training. They don't like eating healthy. What they like is no, they don't. You know what they like? Sitting on the couch and eating Ben and Jerry's. Like that's what they like. So you've taken the stuff away from them that they like, and you're forcing them to move, which they don't like. And like if you don't make it fun and easy and simple, like you lost them already. So you need to make it fun. You need to make it simple. You need to hold their hand every step of the way until training is not to them. Like they have this training psychology of it being a punishment. You need to take, as you shift it towards like, I can't live without training in my life. And I think that only will ever happen. That transition will only happen if you have a fantastic customer experience journey and you have a journey map over that first 100 days. Because I don't think a lot of us as coaches look at the process from the customer's point of view. And I think this is a crucial thing. It's like, if I was a customer, what would I feel when I'm scrolling a news feed? It's like, oh, okay, I'm looking at cat pictures and all the rest of it. And then there's like this challenge and it gives me a glimmer of hope for a second. It's like, I look down at my gut and it's like, okay, I need to lose 10 kilos. And they opt in. And all of a sudden fear creeps in and they're like, oh, I don't want this person to call me because I like going home and eating Ben Jerry's and drinking 2 bottles of wine. So it's like, all of a sudden they made an initial movement and then they're thinking, maybe I don't want to do that. And then you call them up and you give them they're fearful to answer the phone, but then you can like go through their hopes and dreams and how you're going to help them. And then you sell them. And then all of a sudden they're like, after it the next day, they're like, what did I just buy? What did I just do? So all of a sudden fear creeps in again for them. And then they come in for the first session and all of a sudden they can't move for 2 days. And they're like, holy hell, is this what fitness is like? Like literally, this is the worst thing ever. And then like 2 weeks in, it's like, I haven't lost 10 kilos yet. Like, what's wrong with me? And then like,
what's wrong with this program? What's wrong with this gym?
Yeah, man. Then they start feeling negative again. And then like, a month in, they start comparing themselves to other people. It's like, oh, Jenny lost 6 kilos and I lost 3. Like, I must be big boned and have a slow metabolism. Like, then all of a sudden they have this comparison syndrome kicking in. Or like, oh, I only came to 2 sessions this week, so I'm going to quit. I'm not going to come next week because I can't fit it into my life. So like, they have all these things going through their head. And if they, like, I see some coaches, like, it's more of a dictatorship. It's like authoritarian, right? It's like, you pay me, do what I say. It's like, no, like, you have to nurture them. Like, I think that's the biggest thing, because these people are like, scared little sheep. Okay. And if you don't nurture them and bring them into your flock, they're going to find another flock there is more fun, that they feel nurtured in. And I think you have to treat them as if they're like your family. You don't, cast aside your child when he falls over because he can't walk properly at the start. It's like, no, you nurture him. It's okay to fall over. I'm here to pick you back up. I'm here to sit down with you. I'm here to guide you every step of the way. I'm here to motivate you and inspire you. I'm here to help you model the way. I'm here for you to educate and empower you. And I think if we can, try and draw in on that and understand what is the client going through, and we can try and empathize with that if we've been through that before, or at least we can try and communicate with them as if they were family.
Yeah, the baby analogy is so funny, because it's like, if you've got your second child, when he's learning to walk and he's falling over, you're like, damn it, why can't you just be like your older brother? He walks fine now. Like, why do I have to deal with this stupid child when I've got a perfectly working child over here that, you know what I mean? Like, gym owners, like, come across the same kind of thing. It's like they've got all these clients which are, great and aren't a hassle at all. And then you've got all these like beginner ones coming through being frustrating because they can't do simple stuff right that everyone else can. And it's like, I caught myself getting frustrated at clients like that. It's just like, oh, you ask such stupid questions. But they're not stupid questions. They're just learning to walk. And they just appear stupid compared to the experienced clients that have been there for years.
It's so crucial, man, because then when you can look at this as well, right? There's no such thing as a stupid question, because every athlete was once an amateur, and that's the life cycle of your client, right? So everyone starts as an amateur. So don't get frustrated with the amateurs. They're trying to get on a journey. So like, you need to nurture them as much as you can. But the biggest thing you can do is you can create a customer experience and a client culture where they're not only nurtured by you, but they're nurtured by the rest of your clients. So they feel a part of something, and they don't feel like they're like isolated, but everyone's motivating them. Everyone's lifting them up. Everyone's congratulating. Everyone's giving them tips and tricks. They're going out on the weekends for cafes, for a Saturday morning breakfast with your clientele, because the customer experience is so high. You create this community of people that they just love being around, and people want to be around those communities. So I think your customer experience builds your culture inside your gym as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. Keep them coming. This is unbelievable.
So like, if you look at the prospect, like we said, like, look at the processes from the customer's point of view, and all the little things make the biggest difference to the customer. It's a little email after that, first meetup, like giving them the personalized video. It's a little email telling them, wear this, bring this down. It's a little email. It's like, if you do feel like self-conscious, don't worry. Everyone is on their own journey. So don't compare yourself, because we are on a journey, and 16 weeks will get you going there. After the first session, it's the text message going, hey man, like, you're going to feel sore tomorrow. Like, take X milligrams of vitamin C, or, like, do some stretches, or do these 3 stretches tonight, and take an ice bath tomorrow. Whatever you're going to tell them to do, like, it's the little things that add up over time. They're like, man, these guys have thought of everything. It's like, no, you've just thought about 100-day customer journey. I think if you can do that, like, then you'll keep clients, you'll keep them motivated as well. It's like all those little things add up. So if you have a goal, now you can, for your customers, like, what is my goal with my customer experience? Like, if you can have a goal. So like, when I think about our goal, is empower people to train more often, make them feel confident so they can get control of their nutrition and become the healthiest version of themselves. So all my customer experience is about that. It's like, okay, how can I empower people to train more often? How can I make them feel more confident? How can I help them get control of their nutrition? Well, like that's everything. So, and my whole customer experience is around my goal for what I'm trying to do for the customer. So if we have a goal, now we can get all these customer experience to roll around that. Like, how do I empower them? Like, how do I motivate and inspire them? Like, how do I educate them to make things simple, not overwhelmed, right? It's not like the first day is like, here's the macros and jump into the matrix and try and figure out your life. Like, it's like, no, I'm going to guide them, simple portion. I'm like, whatever it is for you. Maybe you sit down with them for 3 hours and you teach them macronutrients. I don't care how you do it, but you have to give them a plan that they feel educated, they feel motivated, they have certainty. Because all of a sudden, if you didn't teach someone macros and calories, and then you go like use this app, they have no certainty whatsoever, and they're like, this is too hard. Losing weight is too hard. So when we look at this, then I want everyone to flip it. So like you ask yourself, how do I do these 3 things? And then you go, okay, cool. On the flip side, like how would I turn it off? Right? What would I have to do to disempower them? Okay, what do I have to do them to demotivate them? What would I have to do them to make the nutrition complex? And then you can write the 3 or 4 things down that would disempower someone. Well, they probably wouldn't see results, or you got frustrated with them not doing an exercise correctly. How would I demotivate them? Like checking my phone instead of actually being 100% present in the session. Demotivating them, not checking in with them, not doing what you said you would do. How would I make nutrition too complex? Well, you didn't guide them and give them a simple plan to start with. So if you can go, these are the things that would make it negative and these are the things that would make it positive. Let's make sure I don't do the negative things, and it will make the positive things even better. And the experience is like this linear journey to greatness for them. And I think that's the biggest thing. We don't ever think about the negative things, and they slip in without us even realizing. So if we can make this happiness of your customer a linear journey from like day 0 or day -10 to the first 100 days, and have these specific milestones along the way, and we create this journey map. So I don't care if you do this like on an Excel spreadsheet, or you get this big whiteboard, or you get a piece of paper, like you have these milestones. And for me, the milestones are like, okay, before they opt in, and then it's like when they first like jump on the phone, you sell them. Then it's like their first session. Then it's for 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 28 days, and then it starts going in 14-day increments, right? So it goes, 56, 70, 84, and 100. And it's like you need to have these milestones. And in these milestones, you need to ask these 3 things. So you've got this journey map where you pointed these little dot points along it, and above your Excel or above your sheet, you go, how do I give them certainty? How do I build connection? How do I give them significance? And how I add variety into their life in this moment, okay? Beforehand, at the sale, before the sessions, first 7 days, like how do I do those 4 things at then? And then I go below the journey map, how would I give them uncertainty? How would I build distance or isolation? How would I give insignificance? And how would I create boredom? So if you can go answer them for every single journey map, every point on the journey map, and you can answer them above it for every single point on the journey map, all of a sudden you have journeyed a negative customer experience, and these people aren't going to stay with you. And you've journeyed a positive customer experience. And for you, every single journey will be slightly up and slightly down, like a bit of a heartbeat, right? But you want to keep it up above the line as much as you possibly can. That's when we start to create great positive experiences. And the reason I ask them that, because our human drivers are certainty, significance, connection, and variety. So how do I give them significance? I think that's the next thing. So and give them significance by shout outs inside the group if that's what they want, or shout outs on your social media. Give them significance by, give me a text message after the session like, man, you crushed it today. You really killed it. Or after they did their 7 days of nutrition, it's like, oh my gosh, man, like you were 95% there. Like you are absolutely crushing it. Like they might have hit a milestone. What's the first 5 kilos? You give them a t-shirt because they hit their first milestone. I don't care what it is, but you can aid in significance very easy. So then it's like, how do I give connection? Well, connection can be done from, sitting down with someone once a month. Like you should sit down with a member once a week for a coffee. Like choose a new member, sit down with them, get a coffee with them, and give them some time. Because when we look at this, like connection is, okay, I want to give them quality time. And then how can I map out gifts? So on that journey map, so like some of my connection is gifts. So when do I give them a shaker? When do I give them a string bag? When do I give them a t-shirt? When do I give them some protein bars or a tub of protein? Like when can I have these gifts where I can do this? Or when can I give them this quality time where I can do this? Or when can I give them acts of service, like looking at blogs for them, helping them overcome nutrition plans? They're like, oh, I'm vegetarian. No worries. I just researched 7 great breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas great for vegetarians. Like follow these. And it's like, that's an act of service. They're like, okay, this person actually cares. So if we can go, great. I'm giving significance, and this is how we do it. Great. I'm giving connection, and this is how I'm doing it. And then we go, great, how do I give variety? So you're not going to go, hey, have some chicken and broccoli, and I'll see you in 24 weeks. It's like, no, we're going to give them variety with a nutrition plan. We help them understand nutrition is going to change over time. I think if we can do that, then we go, yeah, man, certainty, connection, significance. I think certainty is the biggest one, man. If people don't get certainty, they're like, am I going, like, did I buy 4 sessions? Yeah, what am I doing? Did I buy 4 sessions a week, or did I buy a result? And I think that's crucial, because people will pay more for results. So if we set this 16-week or set this 24-week goal out there, I don't care if they're going for a Spartan race or a strength competition or, body transformation, then you have these 7-day milestones that they're going to achieve. And as they go towards their end journey and they're hitting these milestones, certainty goes up. And the higher certainty you can have with your customers that with you, their life will be better, well, that's it, man. They're going to stay with you and their life will be better. So I think if we can do this, uncertainty is you don't track anything at all. All right, like that's uncertainty. And then I'm going to find someone else that helps me. Like distance isolation, where you don't message your members, you only see them when they're at their sessions. Or at their sessions, you aren't enthusiastic, you aren't passionate, you aren't motivating, you aren't inspiring. Like you haven't built this community where everyone looks after each other. When we're looking at insignificance, like you don't talk to like all your members, you talk to 2 members and you isolate them because they're your favorite members. And you don't really even talk to anyone else. And boredom, it's like, okay, guys, we're doing a GVT 10 by 10 program for the next 12 weeks. Let's go for it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to go through if they're brand new to training, and this is what we're talking about today, someone wants a body transformation in boot camp, semi-private, even one-on-one, like at the start, they don't want to do some daily undulating periodization where they're doing squats 4 times a week or 3 times a week. And like, they don't grasp that concept. So you need to give them something that's like, give them a bit of what they need and give them a bit of what they want. As like merge those two together. So it's like, yeah, you need to be doing this strength training, but here's a bit of, HIIT, or here's a bit of whatever you see on Instagram that's actually legitimate though. So I think that's a big thing as well, man.
Yeah. Like I think it's Tony Robbins, isn't it? Who says if someone gets all 4 of those things in an activity, then that activity will become an addiction.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's bad, right? Because like heroin or whatever does actually achieve all 4 things, right? It's like variety, because it's like you never know what you're going to get, but then it's like certainty as in like you're going to get high as, and then like connection, because like it connects like spiritually and it ignites brain waves that you not normally.
You could do it with other people as well.
Oh, there you go. With friends in your little heroin group. And yeah, significance, because it feels like you're doing something important, right? Like with regards to like when you're in the moment and you're high on a hallucinogen or something like that, like there's nothing else that's important in the world. Right?
Everything, man. Like it's like that's what drinking does, like binge drinking. Okay, the connection with your mates when you're going out drinking alcohol, you have significance because like I'm going to buy a round, you buy a round, or you get significance because a girl actually hits on you, or you hit on a girl. Like remember that one day where it actually happened. And then like there's variety because you're having different types of drinks, or you go to a different bar. Like for all of us, like if you can look at this, so there is connection. Everything that people start to obsess about, they hit these 3 or 4 things and it becomes that addiction. So it's like the same as going to the movies. Okay, I'm going to watch a different movie. I'm going to go with my partner. I'm going to eat chocolate and overeat because that makes me feel good. Like, and I have the certainty that I'm going to feel these 3 things. So like, that's why people overeat, and that's why people go to the movies and overeat. So you have to break the cycle. So for you, but how can you? Because fitness is a positive addiction, right?
That's right. We want it to be.
Yeah, this is going to help them have a longer life, a better quality life, and help them become the best version of themselves. So how can we get those 4 things? And then there's growth and contribution as well. So they're growing themselves. They're learning new skills. They're learning how to become a better version of themselves. They're growing their cooking skills. They're growing their training skills. All of a sudden, they're like, I'm doing things I've never done before. Like I got a message on Instagram yesterday, like some guy just went and like he follows me on Instagram and I motivated him and he took a plane and like did the Great Wall of China or something like that, which is amazing. But like he messaged, I'm here because of you. I was like, we never met before, but he was like super motivated from everything I said. I was like, that's freaking awesome, man. But with this, like if you can give them these 4 human needs inside, your business and then adding growth and contribution. So maybe the growth is we're giving back every single session. We give $2 every week. We give $2 to X, and every week by you training here, we feed a child or we feed a homeless person. And they're like, okay, we've got 200 members here. We're feeding 200 homeless people a week. Like, that's crazy. It's like, great. We're feeding 200 a week, 1,000 a month. We're feeding like 10,000 homeless people a year. Like, us as a community, we're changing our community because we're doing it together. And that's, people don't want to leave that either, because they're like, okay, I'm giving back with you. And that's why Tom's shoes, like, you buy a pair and like a kid gets a pair. Like the thank you water, all this sort of stuff. These companies that really have these communities around them, like, they have this contribution aspect, but growth is massive inside the health aspect because you're growing their knowledge and they're becoming a better version of themselves. So if you can impact and have all 6 of these human needs, man, like, that is an addiction. That's why people won't leave. But if you give them none of this, like, that's why people will try and find this.
Yes, 100%, man. Like, it's like I talk about all the time because I love surfing, and I'll never not surf because it hits those 4 things for me. Like every time I go in the water, I know exactly what I'm going to get. Like, I'm going to get that cold, cool ocean, like, refreshing me, but it's variety because every wave I get is different. And then it's like significance because as I'm learning a new skill and getting better, like, my mates are going, wow, yeah, Liam, you're really ripping. Like, you're looking good. That gives me massive significance to know that I'm improving at something and getting better.
How much significance do you get when you're like in a barrel or something like that and you got a photographer on the beach and someone snaps a photo of you and then you put it on social media and you're like, that's right, man, I crushed that.
Yeah, that's right. And so it's like, it sounds so comical, but at the same time, it's just like, man, we're just big monkeys, aren't we? Like, because we're just so predictable. But like, yeah, I just absolutely love it. And people listening have to make their gyms exactly the same, have to figure out and make sure that every single one of your clients is feeling significant in some way. And it can be as simple as, bringing a photographer in to some of your classes and taking some photos of them absolutely crushing deadlifts. Like, it looks awesome on camera when like they're doing it. So like, and then they can post that on social media or even just keep it for themselves and just be like, or show their husband or show their wife and be like,
but the funny thing is, man, like, they all make it as their like profile picture. They do. And like, because they're like, this is me beasting it at the gym, right? And all of a sudden they're like, that's crazy. So if you get a photographer in one, you could probably, if you want, you could probably do some barter deal and get someone to come down, go to a uni and get some photography student or anything like that, or just pay like $100, $200 for someone to come down and take some snaps of your sessions, do it once a month. And those sessions are going to be packed. Like, let them know. Like, trust me, when we say there's a photographer, like, we have like 150% attendance rate. Like, it's crazy.
People aren't even members start rocking up.
They just start rocking up. It's like, I want some of these photos. But like, so what can we do, man? Like, well, we can highlight hard work by choosing a member of the week, because I think that's a crucial thing. And you post that in your group or on your socials, significance. So that's definitely a big thing. We can celebrate milestones. Okay, so you have to have these milestones in their transformation journey. It could be like the first 5 kilos, first 5%. It could be like their end transformation. Like, that's significance. Give them a T-shirt. Take a photo. We need to plan like community events or hikes. Like, that builds connection. So how can you go together, not just in your sessions, but how can you take them and do the 1,000 stairs or something? Like, go for a surfing trip. I don't care what you do, but do something. You could do a 2-day retreat, and some of them even bond even further, like 20-year members. And then how can we pick up the phone and just call and text our members? Like, that's probably one of the biggest things and the easiest thing.
Oh man, 2019, right? Like 2019, how hard was it for you to like connect with someone like 15 years ago when like the biggest thing you could do was like text message? Now you can jump on your Instagram, send someone a 15-second personalized video, which takes you literally like, unlock your phone. You don't even have to unlock anymore. You just hold it up to your face and it does it for you. Go into Instagram, send it to Jenny. Just go, Jenny, just want to say I was thinking about you. You crushed it this morning. I'm so proud of how far you've come. Like, that is so much more genuine than like. You
don't even have to touch your phone, I don't think. You could have your phone up there. Hey, Siri, text message Jenny. I'll start talking it.
Basically, there's no excuse, right? Like, there's no excuse. If you got 100 members, like, there's no excuse not to be reaching out to every single one periodically on a personal level.
I would say you should reach out to, if you have 100 members, you should reach out to every single one of them at least once a fortnight. So 10 text messages or emails, like understand the medium that they like to communicate it with, because you might have to ask that in the information form at the start. I like text, I like email, I don't mind social media platforms. Like, fantastic. Like, then you can communicate where they want to be communicated in as well. And like, you reach out to 10 members every single day, and that might take like 25 to 30 minutes to reach out to them, give them a bit of a personalized message. Could be from how they were crushing it in the gym, or a bit of a nutrition thing that you looked up and you were reading, or it could be a little tip or a research that you were reading as well. Like, just anything. Like, reach out to them and create that bond, that relationship. That's super easy for you to do. And then, so we're picking up a phone, we're texting. What about actually letting your members know a little bit personal stuff about you and about your coaches? So like, if you don't have that in your essentially like your welcome email, hey, these are your coaches, this is what they do, and this is some personal stuff about them, so they can relate straight away. And it's not just like 3 coaches randomly in the gym. It's like, oh, that's Liam, like he likes to surf and he loves coffee. And then you can have a conversation about coffee and they feel like you can open up. So even if you got more connection, man, there's something you can build that bond around. And if they love coffee and you see that on their form, like Liam and you guys can have chats about coffee, right? If that's what you guys love. What about like, so that's a big thing. It's like, actually let them know who your coaches are and give them a bit of information about them. What about some mail handwritten notes? I think that's a big thing that we're not doing anymore. No one does it. So when someone joins up, you can send them a postcard straight away and they'll get it in the first 7 days. You can even do like send out cards or something like that. There's electronic ways to do this where a physical thing can go to them, but you can just have cards. You can write a little note. It's like, thanks for coming down. Really hope to transform your life over the next 16 weeks, over the next 24 weeks. Like, I can't wait to be a part of this journey with you. And it's like, you send that to them. They get it in the mail over the first 7 days. Like, man, like they're like, wow, this gym's like next level. So it's like, even on their anniversary or their milestone or their birthday, send them a physical card. Like, when was the last time you got a birthday card?
Oh, yeah, well, my wife actually is obsessed with birthday cards. So, but yeah, besides from her, that's like, yeah, no one does it anymore, right?
Man, what if you wrote birthday cards rather than just posting on a social platform? Like, what if you wrote some birthday cards and 7 days before their birthday, you sent them out a birthday card? Like, man, like that's what it's all about. And you can partner up with a couple of supplement companies near them, stuff in there a couple of protein packets and go, happy birthday, here's 2 protein sachets. It doesn't really matter. It's more so, like I said at the start, it's the little things. It's the little things that add up. It's not about what was in the card. It's that you thought of them. You actually thought of them when they weren't with you. And I think that's a crucial thing. It's like celebrating birthdays, bringing live music. I think if we can do that, that's the little things that actually add up. And with customer experience, we have to understand the basic truth of it all is you're always selling, okay? You're always promoting. And you're always creating experience. When I say you're always selling the next session with you. Because if you get a crappy session today, well, like, no, because this session sells the next session. This nutrition plan sells the next nutrition plan. I'm not talking about monetary sales.
Yeah.
I'm talking about them actually looking forward to showing up. You're selling them to give you their time. That's what you're selling them. Okay. Because they're on a 16-week contract, but after 8 weeks, they might come like once a week. It's like, no, like, that's not going to change their life. I need to sell them every single session. This is going to be the best 45 minutes of their life. I'm going to sell them the fact that I'm going to inspire them and motivate them. I'm going to sell them that this community is their community. Like, it's selling them your customer experience, and that experience is what keeps them there. I think, the experience at the end of the day, like, that's the product they're paying for. They're not paying for 4 sessions a week. They're paying for the experience you're giving them. Like, I feel like I'm a good trainer. Like, I feel like I'm a good coach, but above all, I'm a great performer. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, in a group setting, like, I can crack some jokes. I can make people lift hard. I know when to like pat someone on the back. I know when to, tell someone to chill out, but I perform. So they're like, this is some form of like entertainment value at the same time, man. I think that's a big thing. It's about getting into their why. And I think if you can do that, the experience is the product. If we can really understand that, it's like, what experience am I actually delivering right now? And if my customer's leaving, it's like, because they're not getting the experience. Like, we live in this world, man, where your customers have the opportunity to broadcast every single day to thousands of people, their friends, their followers on social media, your customer experience. So if you are like, they have milestones, like send them some protein bars to their office. Like know their office address. Like, do the little things. Like give them a happy birthday video message, like sing them happy birthday. You might think that's stupid, but they're like, this guy's corny as hell. And like, that's funny. Like that's my gym. But like, if you can do this and you can actually go, well, is this experience worth them broadcasting it to the world? Then you won. And if they broadcast or not, that's okay. Like some will, some won't. But if you give them an experience so good that it is enough value that they should broadcast to the world, then you're winning.
Yeah, man. The idea that RBT has with people come for the transformation, but they stay for the community, which is the experience, which is exactly what you're talking about, right? It's like we sell them what they want, but give them what they actually need. And then that becomes what they want anyway.
Yeah, man. Like you have to think about it like this. If this was your kid or your sister, right, and they were going through what your clients are currently going through, right? They feel overweight. They feel self-conscious. They don't go down the beach. They're living like a life that just isn't the best quality of life, because that's what people are going through, right? Like if they lost 12 kilos, 15 kilos, 20 kilos right now, their energy will be up, their confidence will be up. They like have a better quality life. They're going to live for longer. If this was your kid or your sister or your mum, how would you treat them? That's how you have to treat your customer. You sit down with them, you care for them, right? You help them, you empathize with them. You see what they're going wrong and you don't get frustrated at them. Like you try and nurture them every step of the way. And if you can treat them like family, then like they're gonna act like family. But like treat them like family. Sometimes you have to step up and you have to go, man, like you screwed up today. It's time to pull your finger out and actually do it. It's like this isn't just some one way like enthusiastic motivation train. Like it's like we have crucial conversations, and that's how you get respect from your members as well. It's like, I don't go to this gym just for fun. I go to this gym for results, and they care about me enough to pull me up when I'm being stupid.
Yeah, it's like what you said earlier, which is it's leadership, right? Like, which is your son is trying to learn how to walk. Like, it's your job as their leader, as their father, to help them go through that hurdle and get that to that milestone, right?
Well, man, like customer experience at the end of the day comes down to leadership. So I think so many of us think of leadership as in like, I'm a leader to my team. No, you're a leader to your members. Your team is a leader to your members. So when we're looking at that 5 levels of leadership John Maxwell talks about, there's a positional based leader, right? So when we're looking at a positional based leader, as far as like, I'm the boss, you're my employee, it's like, I pay your wage, you do the job. Now, if I'm looking at it from like more B2C, like I'm the coach, you're the client, it's like you pay me a fee, you do the session. It's like, no, like you need to make it fun for them to actually come back. You need to make it exciting. You need to correct them. You need to have the hard conversations with them. Like you can't just have positional-based leadership, and then you can't have permission-based leadership either. You can't just be fun. Like level 2 leadership with these, like it can't just be fun every single day. Like you have to go, it has to be hard. It has to push them outside their comfort zone. They need to be growing. And you have to go, hey man, like we need to sit down right now because, we had this, personal contract with you that you're going to hit 4 sessions a week, 16 sessions a month, and you hit 7 this month. Like we aren't going to get your results if you keep acting like this. Like how can I help you? And customer experience and leadership sometimes is vulnerability. It's like, I'm trying to do everything I can right now. Like, what can I do better to actually give you a better experience so I can fulfill my duties to get you the results you need? So then it's like the next one. You need to be a minimum level 3 leader, which is like a production-based leadership with all of your members. They follow you because what you've done for them and the community, like you've educated them. They feel like being around you, you have increased the quality of their life for the rest of their life. Like they're growing. They're becoming a better version of themselves. They can see improvement, physical improvement, and also psychological improvement. Like they're more confident. You inspire them. Like you go out of your way for them. Like that's production-based leadership. That's when results happen. So if you can go, am I doing this with all of my members, or I'm doing it just like the top 20% that I enjoy? It's like, no, do it with the whole 100% of your members. Like you got to be that production level 3 leadership to all of them. So I think if we can focus on being a leader to our members, like that is the most crucial thing. And also guys, like they don't just do what you say, they do what you do. So it's like, are you leading them the right way with your own health standards? Are you leading the right way with your own ability to inspire them with what you do? Because man, like I think that's a big thing, right? Like, it's silly enough to say this. Like, when I work in big box gyms, the big dudes, the ripped dudes, they get the most clients because, like, those guys inspire me. They must know what they do. But it's the truth, man. Like, for all of us in the fitness industry, you have to inspire them in some way that you are going and moving towards a goal as well. It doesn't have to be a transformation goal. It could be a strength goal that still inspires them, because growth inside you, hitting your goals, also inspires your customers. So I think leadership is crucial. Don't think of it just from you to your team. It's you to your members. And I think the last couple of things, it's like you have to think about what's other ways you can actually implement systems to increase your customer experience. Secret shoppers is a big one. I think no one in smaller gyms, like I've got one gym, or I've got 2 gyms and I've got 100 members. And if you have coaches, like, throw in a secret shopper. I don't care if it's a relative of yours or a friend of yours that's never trained. It's like, hey man, I just need you to train my gym for the next month for free. I want you to give me like feedback as direct and crucial as possible, from like you opting in to your sale, to your first session, to your second session, to your 7th session, your interaction with the coaches, your interaction in the sessions, the bathrooms. Like, give me all the feedback you can from these secret shoppers, and like, I will train you for the $200 for the month for free. But in return for that, I just need you to give me some feedback. And you can actually employ secret shoppers if you don't have any friends that can do it. But what you can do is you can just get your friends to do it and get some crucial feedback. And that's how you grow, because with secret shoppers, then the feedback loop starts to happen. And you do a secret shopper once every 3 months, and you keep improving your customer experience because these people are telling you what you're doing wrong.
Man, that's such a good idea. And so easy to do. And then one of your family members gets good results.
Exactly. The next thing is like brand ambassadors. So you can have an advisory board. So like when I'm talking about brand ambassadors, I'm not talking about like influencers saying, hey, go train at Joe's gym. No, it's like a brand ambassador. They can train for free or a decreased amount, or you can create this advisory board where they rotate every 12 weeks to 6 months. And they train, there's like 3 or 4 of them in your gym. And this advisory board gives you advice on how to increase your customer experience. But part of their job is every session they go to, they have to have like an A attitude. And if they see someone down, like not even as a coach, but they lift up that member, like they go out of their way. It's like, hey, let's go get a coffee. Like, you've got these people training for free in your gym, and they're to lift the morale. They're also like, they're like essentially like an unpaid coach. They might have been with you forever, or they might be a member that might not be able to afford it anymore. And for them as well, like our advisory board, they have to bring in 2 people a month for a 7-day trial. So not only are they bringing you in business and they help you increase your customer experience, they're also increasing your sessions and giving you members. So I think if you can create this advisory board of 4 to 5 people, means you're going to get like 10 referrals a month, but also every single month you can sit down and have a coffee with them, and they can give you feedback on how to increase your customer experience, or what members they think need more help as well, because they can see things you don't. And also they're going to talk maybe that you can't hear. And then every 12 weeks you can rotate them to a new 5 members, or every 6 months to a new 5 members, and you're going to have new perspective. You're going to continue never ending and constant improvement, right? That's it. Never ending and constant improvement. And this is what these brand ambassadors do. The next thing is like loyalty programs. Like, do you actually have a loyalty program? What I would do, say I was doing a 28-day challenge in my gym, what I would do at the start is I would give them a 42-day goal. And it's like, man, if you hit over the next 42 days, like 24 sessions, like 4 sessions a week. If you hit 24 sessions in 42 days, you get a protein tub and a t-shirt. Right? If you got them to 16 sessions in 28 days, they're not going to cancel. They keep going because they want the shirt and they want the t-shirt. People want to finish something they started. It's like human nature, right? We finish shit that we start when we feel like we've got momentum, right? If you've got no momentum, 100% they're going to not finish it. But you've given them a goal just after when their initial paid trial ends, and they'll continue the goal, and they just happen to continue into the membership now to achieve these goals. So do we have some form of loyalty program? When someone hits 100 sessions with you, it's like, hey, here's a 100-session I don't know. Create a loyalty program inside your business. After their first year, or after their first 100 sessions, after their first 10 kilos, they get something. And then the next thing is like wow moments. Like, do you have wow moments inside your business? And do you essentially create a thing in your business? So for us in RBT, we go through peaks and troughs of this, but it's something we're trying to get back into every single month. We're creating these wow moments with our members where there's a competition within our trainers. It's like the person who does the best wow moment in a month, and you submit your wow moments and it's documented. They go above and beyond. I don't care if you take someone out for a coffee, you send some Uber Eats at the hospital because they're sick. I really don't care how you create wow moments. moments, create a wow moment, okay? And then submit it in there. And the person who creates the best wow moment inside your gym, they get a voucher. So it's like, here's a pair of shoes. Give a pair of shoes away every single month to the coach that creates the best wow moment. Might cost you $200, but all of a sudden there's like 5 wow moments going left, right, and center. You got 4 coaches, 20 wow moments a month. That's increasing your customer experience. Remember, guys, it costs 5 to 7 times more to get a new customer. So by giving a $200 a pair of shoes or $150 pair of like Metcons or something like that, like that's going to increase your customer experience because your coach is going above and beyond now. I think wow moments are something that we can all implement, and it really doesn't cost much at all. And you're keeping clients for longer, and you don't need to get more clients in. And also, if you're creating wow moments, you're creating raving fans. If you create raving fans, they're advocates of your business. And satisfied customers don't refer, like advocates do. You're giving them moments that they want to talk about on dinner with their girlfriends on a Friday night, or they're at work and they're like, oh my gosh, this just happened. That's the wow moment, and they're talking about your business now, and that's where it's all at.
Yeah, like those wow moments will spread very quickly. Like that's what you see. You go viral on social media, right?
100%, man. And like, have a member of the week. Like, if you're not doing things, like, do this. Empower members. Give them. I'll pay your coaches, right? Give all your coaches. You got 4 coaches. Give them $100 a month. Okay, this is your budget for customer experience. I don't care if you spend it on 1 client or spend it across 10 clients. Like, take a couple out for breakfast, buy someone some protein, buy someone some, Quest protein bars, like, but all of a sudden and get some receipts. But when we're looking at this, like, you give them $100 budget a month to improve customer experience. And what's the best thing, man? It's giving something, right? So all of a sudden your coaches are feeling like they're above. They're like, oh my gosh, like I get to give people gifts and I get to make people happy. And I get to like it's these things, man, like, it's the surprises, right? The surprise moments, like these delightful moments that the members didn't even think about, and your coaches get to do that. So all of a sudden it creates a great culture within your coaches as well. So that's another thing. And last thing is like, maybe create a customer experience competition in your company, right? So there's like check-in competitions and things like that you can do. So how can you create some form of customer experience? Maybe create, when we're looking at customer experience for people coming in, you can do some reviews, do 5 reviews and get X. So again, people normally before they join a company, they ask other friends about it as well, or they'll search you up on Facebook reviews, Google reviews. It's like, so how can you create a competition around that? At the end of the day, man, like, if we can understand it's not B2B, B2C, it's H to H, it's like human to human connection. If we can do that and you put your customer's heart above everything, like that is customer experience. It is human to human connection. You have happiness, you have passion, you have enthusiasm. Like that's the trifecta, right? Passion, happiness, enthusiastic, straight in the middle, that is you. Like that's what people want to come back for, man. And the surprises, the little intricacies, everything else, like, or everything else, that's icing on the cake. And I think if you can have the humility that even your best stuff can always be improved. It's like, I create the best transformations. Like, okay, how can we create better ones? I create the best. How can we have better ones? Like, how can you constantly create the best stuff to be even better? And if you can do this, man, like that's customer experience. Like, people want never-ending constant improvement. If you can do that, your business is going to grow. And like, then I think the last thing is like, if you were only paid if you got results, how would you train your clients? What type of accountability would you give your clients? What type of sessions would you give your clients? Because to get results, you got to get them back 4 times a week. You got to get them to follow your nutrition plan. You got to inspire them to keep going. And if you only got paid if you got results, like, how would you treat them then? Like, how much would you be on their back? How much would you try and motivate them? How much would you try and inspire them? How much would you try and nurture them and bring them in? Like, trust me, I bet you most people will try a lot harder, because if not, like, they ain't getting paid.
It's no longer entitlement, right?
Nope.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so summary: variety, certainty, connection, as well as significance of those 4 keys. And then if you can get them to grow and contribute as well, that's like makes up that 6. It's pretty unreal, man. I mean, we always talk about it, but we've got our offer, which is the FitPro Formula 90-day fast track program. We'll give you all 4 things, won't we? We'll give you the certainty that you'll hit 30 clients in those 90 days. Like, how good is that? 30 clients for your gym or for your fitness business. Give you the variety, because we're going to be teaching you stuff that you've never learned before. Teaching you stuff that had you got as a weapon for your business will significantly impact your business. It'll give you the significance because you know that you'll be the best gym on your block. You'll be the busiest. All the other gyms will be looking at you going like, fuck, how does he do it? How does she do it? Like, so jealous. Their gym's always busy. And then connection,
man.
Like, that's what it's all about. Like our crew of fit pros in our groups, they're the best. Everyone's got each other's backs. Like,
you are the sum of the 5 people, right? So the connection with this is you will automatically be leveled up as a person. You rise to the people that you surround yourself with. So if you feel isolated right now, like the connection is crucial because people are walking through the same thing you're walking through and they're getting there. So it lifts you up to a higher level and to a higher standard. So, you know, the connection is crucial. And the variety also, man, I think the variety comes with like, oh, I've tried all this stuff and people just keep telling me doing Facebook ads. It's like, no, we'll give you the variety. It's like, this is how you do referrals. This is how you do charity boot camps. Like, this is how you do Facebook ads and social media marketing. This is how you do competitions. Like, this is how you do all the email marketing. This is how you do text message marketing. Like, for us, it's like, we don't just give you a variety as far as like different stuff to do. Like, we give you a variety on how to, you know, become better for your clients, how to you know, basically be the person they need you to be. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like if you want to grow your business by 10K in 90 days, like if you want to grow your business by 30 clients guaranteed, then like this is the program for you. And I think that's what you have to understand. It's like, do I want to grow? Do I want to make the rest of the year the best of the year? It's like, then this is it, fitproformula.com.
That's right. Fitproformula.com, all one word, obviously. Yeah, it's growth contribution, man, as well. It's like we always talk about it, but you're not just in business to help your own clients, but your own business to make money. And why is it important to make money? Because you can significantly create more growth and contribution in the world when you have more money. And it's a really important thing to remember. That's what our mission is.
That's it, man. That's today.
Awesome, brother. Until next time, Travis Jones Podcast.
See you guys.